My name's Sharon Haig, and I want to thank you for joining me again. Today I want to talk to you about structure. You see, rich people don't just have nicer homes, they have nicer homes for their finances. What I mean by a nicer home for their finance is that it's structured better. Whenever you hear about a wealthy person, you'll often hear about the structures that they have around their finances, and it's usually much more complex than the average wage earner. Their structures usually include companies and trusts, insurances, and global investment vehicles, not just personal savings accounts. Financial structures lay the foundation for wealth. As your financial literacy grows, your understanding of how these structures provide protection and reproduction for finances will grow too. Just as a small doll's house requires very different foundations to a large city office tower block, so too your choice of financial structures will vary depending on how large you want your wealth to grow. Right now there are floods in parts of Australia. It's very fascinating to watch the rivers come to life again, where the water runs in between the banks of the river. If the water overflows the banks, that's when you have floods. Floods can be devastating. They can bring havoc and destruction. If those banks are properly structured, they will contain the water in a way that is beneficial for man, not harmful for man. It's the same with your finances. If they're structured correctly, your finances will benefit you, they won't harm you. Some people have structures which limit them and severely restrict how big their wealth can grow. A lot of people build structures that are financially limited. In fact, their whole way of thinking about finances is limited. Let me explain an example. If you have a business and you want to get testimonials from your clients, some people will send them a paper form and ask them to fill that out. Others will just send them a letter and ask them to just write general comments. Both of those ways are limited, because if you wanted to show someone a video of that or an audio version, you can't convert them. If you start off with a video testimonial, then you can convert it into audio or into the written form. Starting off with a video testimonial is an example of operating your business in an unlimited way. Starting off with a text testimonial is an example of a structure that is limited. I don't know if you can see the column behind me, but I've got a joke about structure. It's why couldn't the architect move the column? Because he couldn't budget. A finance and structure joke. Pretty good, hey? Seriously though, structure will play an important part in any financial plan that's going to bring prosperity into your future. So I want you to start thinking about structure. When Jesus wanted to explain about budgeting, he used the example of building a tower. Budgets are a structural tool for your finances. The process of creating wealth is a lot like building. That's why a lot of people refer to it as building wealth. Building involves creating structures. Structures are a critical factor in your financial success. Jesus told a parable in the Bible about a wise man and a foolish man. Both of these men built a structure, but one of them was washed away the first time a storm came. He'd built on the sand and there was nothing left to show for all of his hard work building. The other man built on the rock, and his structure stayed even when the storms came, when the winds blew. His structure stayed. This illustrates the importance of structure. If your structure is wrong, you can lose everything. If it is right, you can preserve your wealth for generations to come. Just like an architect separates out a living space into bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchens, family rooms, your budget will separate out your finances into expenses, into savings, into investments, into insurances, and into those things that you want to make your dream come true. Without a structure, your finances will be like a tent. It can only be used on the weekend or for very short periods of time, because they don't allow separation of functions and of people. So stop letting your finances go camping all the time. Start building a real house for your finances. I want you to start thinking more about structure as it relates to money, and you'll see how important it is and how many changes you can make to your existing structures that will help you to prosper in the future. Why don't you take some time right now to think about the structures that surround your finances and analyze whether they are limiting you or whether they are providing unlimited scope for growth. If the structure of your business allows you to grow and duplicate and expand, that scalability is something that investors find very attractive, and you'll find that you'll be able to sell your business for a lot more. It will be valued a lot higher than a business that has limitations in its structure. One thing you can do right now is get on the internet and start researching the financial structures that are available to you in your jurisdiction. If it's in America, it might be an LLC. If it's in Australia, it might be a proprietary limited company. Trusts are available most places. Different insurances are available, and also the options for different global investment vehicles. But whatever you find will help your financial literacy, and it will help your finances grow in the future. Even just separating out some of your money into a separate bank account is the beginning of creating a financial structure. Instead of having all your money sitting in one place and everything getting mixed in together, separating out a portion can be great for creating a financial structure that will help you prosper. If you're in a relationship where one party seems to want to spend in the here and now all the time, and the other party wants to save for a more long-term future, it can be beneficial to structure your finances so that you both can do the things that you like to do. Separate out a portion of your income that you both contribute to. It might be 5 or 10%, and you both agree on a financial goal. That way, the structure around your finances will help you to walk in agreement instead of being at odds and fighting all the time. If you want to know more about how to improve your personal finances or the finances of your organization, please see the other videos on this website or contact me. My email address is sharonhaig@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.